What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet, and this is your Monday mailbag for the week. Now, this week may be a little different. I may end up having to do it in two parts, or I may end up having to cut it short tonight. The weekend has been very long. We've got to do some fun stuff, but I've also been exhausted nursing the leg and stuff. I get an early phone meeting in the morning with a game company, and I'm going to have to make that. So if you guys don't know, I normally film these in the middle of the night so that are up for you first thing Monday morning. If tonight's a little short, I promise I'm going to make sure that every piece of mail we get to is quality. I know that I've read everything that I got, and I love you. In fact, you're going to love this first one I have picked up. I got this awesome sketch from an artist by the name of Caesar in San Diego, California, and he's experiencing a problem that a lot of people are facing these days. Caesar writes to say that he's been a fan since he first saw Francis rage for his Mountain Dew. He says, "I'm a starving artist, and after finishing art school, I got nowhere. No one would commission me for art-related work, and now I'm stuck in a job I hate. I've always felt my life was unaccomplished and basically a waste, and nothing good was at the end of the tunnel for me. I act confident and all in public, but deep down, I feel miserable, and I have a lot of self-hate." Some people might make fun of you for not going to get a marketing degree or a technical degree or something that's a little more employable. But the reality of it is you're facing a very similar situation that hundreds of thousands of graduates and current students are facing all throughout the world, but especially here in the United States. It's difficult to get a job in your field. Most of the skilled jobs that require degrees are slowly disappearing. We are becoming this consumer service industry of a country. And as that continues to progress, as we continue to serve the world, it's Starbucks and it's McDonald's and it's Walmart coffee, we have to learn to accept jobs that we don't like. You take for the case my fiance, who got a writing degree and has never been able to use it. She did land in a job that she loves, though. And I hope that for you, Caesar. Keep working at it. Keep trying at it. Make contacts, network with people, and do everything you can to either find a job you love, even if it doesn't use your degree, or find someone that'll let you use your degree. But if you're one of those people that has a degree and you're still living at home and you're frustrated because no one's hiring in your field and you're not able to get a job, whether you're Caesar or anyone else, no, you're not alone. You're just going to have to keep working at it. You're just going to have to try to survive and hope to get lucky. I should also say that when I was about your age, I was working at a Mexican restaurant washing dishes and working part-time security. I knew that I always wanted to do something with computers. I knew that I always wanted to entertain in some way, and it wasn't until my mid-30s that I finally found success in either one of those fields. So just keep trying at it. If I can get lucky, I know you can. You're a hell of a lot more talented than I ever was. I know in the past few Monday mailbags, we made an agreement that I wouldn't show off the stuff that people send me as much. But this is one of those opportunities I really feel like I should. This Final Fantasy VII game guide and this memory card for the PlayStation came in the mail. It came from Jesse from New Jersey. He says, when I was 9, I made my very first ever gaming purchase, Final Fantasy VII, the strategy guide for it, and my very own memory card since my older brother wouldn't let me use his. Final Fantasy VII has always been one of my favorite games, and I think it will always be dear to me. Those characters kept me company for countless hours. I'm not sure if there's still save files on this memory card or if any of the files are the originals, but even if it's blank, it's still full of happy gaming memories that helped me get through some very rough times. After watching your videos and hearing about your life, I knew you would appreciate just how much something as small as a memory card or even a strategy guide could mean to someone. I also hope they serve as a reminder to you just how much your fans appreciate the honesty, kindness, and wonderful advice you provide. You're truly an inspirational guy, and I genuinely wish we'd grown up together because I knew we would have been friends. I definitely can relate to what a childhood memory that is. I'm so glad that you chose to share it with me. Final Fantasy VII came out at a time where I was a young adult. I just been homeless a couple years before. I managed to establish myself. I had a little bit of money, and I was saving up for a PlayStation and Final Fantasy VII. I'll never forget walking into the store and purchasing the game, and I told the clerk, and whatever system I need to play it on. And he sold me a memory card too, and I unfortunately don't have that anymore. But it is amazing how gaming unifies all of us. You know, everyone that can consider themselves a gamer, anybody who can appreciate it, some of us who appreciate it into adulthood, or even if it's just that common bond at such a young age. I'm glad that we all found each other, and I'm glad that we can all share the hashtag of gamer. Another thing I've been trying to steer away from here in the mailbags is shout-outs for YouTube channels and bands and stuff like that. But in this case, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to check out this YouTube channel in another window, or you can even close this one while I talk to you about it. Midcard for Life is a 27-year-old man who's in a car accident and has been paralyzed. He has not left his home other than to go to a doctor's appointment in the past 8 years. Ricardo, I don't want to divulge too many of the things that you put in this letter, but I do want to offer my advice to you that I would offer to anybody else. Now, I don't personally know your situation, so I can't guarantee that this is the best advice for you, but for most people it would be, and I'm willing to bet it is for you too. Your situation sucks. There's no other way to put it, and I'm not going to try to convince you it doesn't. But here's what I can tell you. You only get one shot at this life, whatever it is. And you have some severe limitations in front of you, whether it's the depression or the social anxiety from being and looking different. You have the weight gain that you now have to fight against, and you have to deal with your disability. And that all sucks. But as I said before, God or fate or random chance has put your life on hard mode. Beat the game anyway. You and I and everyone else only gets one shot at life. This is it. That's all you're going to get. At least that's all we know you're going to get. And you have to make the best of this. So do you want to spend the next 8 years of your life doing what you've been doing, wasting away? Or do you want to fight it tooth and nail and do everything you can? Basically what I'm trying to say is this. In your letter, you said you hadn't seen the inside of a store or the inside of a restaurant in many years. And that is something that you'd like to do. Now, I cannot guarantee that with some hard work, you're going to be able to achieve those goals. But you have to make the decision, because one day you're going to die. Do you want to die trying to reach those simple goals, or even better goals, or even stronger goals? Or do you want to give up? I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be easy. But die a warrior. Die fighting. Fight for what's yours. Make the best of this life. I believe you can do it, and I hope that you choose to. I got a letter from Gabe, and Gabe included some awesome pieces from the board game Axis and Allies. You know, I once watched an Axis and Allies game take place over the course of a whole year. I kid you not. But he says that he had aspirations to create his own YouTube channel, but got banned from AdSense, and to this day still doesn't know why that happened. Continue to fight it if you're really interested. I know, and this is advice for any aspiring YouTuber. I know a lot of people have been banned who've had to fight it, and they won. Don't give up. Ryan wrote to ask if I had any advice for an aspiring YouTuber, and I do. In fact, I put it all in one long video called How to Succeed on YouTube. I think that's the name of it. You'll find a parody of that video and then the actual video on my channel. Please look it up. I promise you, there's great advice for you there. Emmanuel Watson sent me his favorite Magic card. One of my favorites, too. You wouldn't believe the controversy this card created when it first came out. He says that his friend and brother have moved on and he doesn't have them to play with anymore. I want to encourage you to not give up the game. Find your local gaming store and get to playing. I will tell you that every person I've ever met that's worth a shit in my life, I met over a course of a game of Magic the Gathering. Don't give up. It's a wonderful game. Tom Francis said that after seeing a few of my videos, he decided to stand up for himself when people called him fat. He asked him, so what if I'm fat? Well, Tom, I will tell you that I hope you do choose to lose the weight, and I hope that you're capable, but in the end, if you can't, so what if you're fat? Quite possibly my favorite I hope you can pause on the right places. My favorite piece of mail from the week is this awesome comic strip. I always wanted to be in a comic strip. Thank you so much, Ethan. I laughed my ass off. I got a letter from Joe, and I want to anonymize him here because he requested that I do it in the letter. So I'm not really going to talk about his problem, but I want to tell you what the solution is. Keep trying. Be persistent. Just be yourself, and good luck. I got a letter from Chris, and Chris, again, I'm not going to go into too many details here, but Chris suffers from a host of problems. Most notable to me is social anxiety. Chris, I want to tell you this. I suffered from social anxiety the entirety of my life, and these days I'm really good about it. I'm almost 39, but I've learned how to speak in front of a camera. I've learned how to meet people in public. I've learned how to make friends, and I just want to tell you, never give up. If you decide that you're not going to socialize anymore because of a few bad experiences, and anybody could do that, whether they have a social anxiety or not, you're squandering and wasting your experience and the one life you get. You have to make the best of it. You have to fight that anxiety. You have to fight any problem that you have. And just because one or two or three or most or all people make fun of you, even if you have to meet 1,000 assholes to make one good friend, it's worth it. And that goes for girls too, by the way. Josh from Pennsylvania said he's only been watching my videos for a few days, but because of him and finding my videos, he's inspired to be proud of being a gamer and being a nerd. And I just want to say that no matter what you are, whether you're a gamer or a nerd or anything else, be proud of who you are. Be proud of the person that you want to become and try your best to be the best you that you can be. Finally, I want to talk about this letter I got from a married couple, been married for 4 years and together for 8 years, by the name of Derrick and Kyle from Ontario in Canada. And they said that this letter is beautiful. It's hard to find the words. Without giving out too many of their private details, they've had to face a tremendous amount of mental illness amongst the two of them, much more serious than anything I've ever had to personally deal with. And they said that my videos have inspired them, and now, even at their worst state, my Francis videos and the videos that I put up each week are capable of joining them together, and they enjoy them as they always have, and it gives them a brief respite from the things that they're dealing with. And that's mind-boggling to me. It's beautiful, because I want you guys to know that after reading this letter, you guys inspire me a lot. You're very brave, you're very strong, you're phenomenal, and the way you speak about Kyle suffering from your mental illness reminds me of the way my fiance has suffered because of mine, and I think it's phenomenal that your love can beat that, and it gives me hope, and it inspires me that the way that I love my fiance and the way that I love her can overcome it too. Speaking of the wedding, you guys may have noticed I'm wearing the wedding ring that she ordered for me, and I'm getting used to wearing it. It's very cool. It's a little heartbeat. It's huge. It's a size 16. It feels very awkward on my hand because of how big it is, and I'm trying to break it in and get used to it, so that way when we finally get married, I'm going to be ready and excited to wear it and love it. And I got to tell you, after just a couple of days, I'm starting to feel naked without it, but of course I'm always going to have to take it off when I'm doing Francis, and it's hard to play video games with that controller. But that's going to wrap it up for this week's Monday Mailbag before I get too emotional and start blubbering here for you guys. I love you so much. I'm sorry if I didn't get to read your letter out loud this week, but I assure you I read every single one that I got, over 35 pieces of mail. I loved it. The postcards were phenomenal this week. I love your letters. Keep them coming. You know how to find the P.O. Box. I'm going to list in the info box below. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.